are you? Ready for another strong classical Hatha yoga today? Okay. We're going to work on the warrior within, quashing off the ego in all its guises. And we're going to just push through a little bit of that ego that says, I can't do this, I can't hold this posture for that little bit longer. So obviously, take it easy, don't be doing something that completely is too much for you. Always come out of a posture if you really know you've had enough. But I'm going to do some postures today, and we're really going to hold them for that little bit longer, okay, than we normally do. So I'm going to start off with a little warm-up, and then we're going to go into our dancing warrior sequence, so we warm up the body nicely. And then I would like to take some of those postures from the dancing warrior sequence and come into them and really get quite deep into holding them for length of time so that we can really get within the magic of that posture. Alright, so we're going to start today with a warm-up in a standing position. So if you can just bring your legs together in a nice Samsitihi, Tadasana position. With the legs together, engage the legs to be nice and strong and really feel yourself rooting down into the floor here. Okay, we'll take our arms up and we'll clasp our hands together like so, okay, above our heads. Reaching up, shoulders down, reaching up. Now I want you to really keep everything nice and strong in the legs, and as you exhale, bringing your hands over and just breathing. A bit strong in the core so that you're not pushing that left hip out. And just watch what your arms are doing, watch you don't start to flag like so. Keep them nice and strong, over to the side. Inhale back to centre and over to the other side. And again, just watch your arms, watch your right hip doesn't kick out too far, you want to keep it down, watch and stretch from the upper, from here, the waist over, breathing through. And again, inhale up and over to the right. Actually, I've just let my arm go, so I'm going to have to correct myself and come back up again and the other side. Okay, again, keeping that core nice and strong. We'll keep that centre of gravity where it should be. Strong in the middle. And then back up to centre. Come down, bend the knees, come up into a chair pose. So you're bringing the arms up again, the knees are bent slightly. Looking up towards the thumbs. Nice and steady. Hold here. Just warming up the legs. Warming up everything, the arms as well, just keeping it nice and steady. Hold steady and engage the arms. Shoulders down, chest lifted. Okay, now just try and sink into this posture. Sink down, deep. Keep breathing. I know it's quite hard on the arms and the legs, but just allow yourself to go past that little bit of comfort zone. Challenge yourself, that warrior within. Holding steady. Okay. On the next inhale, we're going to come up and straighten the legs, and then we're going to bend them again as you bring yourself down. I want you to have bent legs here, okay? Don't want you to put any strain on the hamstrings. I just want you to relax here with the bent legs. Breathing through. Again, just take it nice and easy. keeping your balance. Allowing the head to drop. Breathe into it nice and deeply in your Ujjayi breath. Legs together, ankles together. Okay, now I want you to bring your fingers in between your feet. Okay, now I want you just to come up now with a straight back. So I want you to straighten your arms, keep the legs bent, but you're kind of straightening through the back. If you have your feet in between your hands in between your feet, and then you're bringing yourself up, you can feel that nice stretch in the shoulder blades. So breathe deeply here. Just breathing through. And releasing the hands. Bring them forward. Bring yourself back into a downward dog position. Again, you can keep the legs bent if you're struggling with the hamstring, but just try and gently work through. Maybe puppy dog the legs a little bit so that you can just gently lengthen through the hamstrings without too much pressure. Okay, now just hold steady. Again, you can bend your knees here as long as your back is nice and straight. And gaze up towards your navel. Arms strong, rooting down through the palms of the hands. Bringing the heels down towards the floor as you can. If bent knees is difficult, so don't worry. Just make sure you're rooting through the feet. Keep it nice and steady. Engage the core. Okay, take a deep breath in, come up onto the tiptoes of the feet, and I want you just to swivel them round and come down to the right so that you're having a nice stretch to that left hand side of the body. Breathe through. And then up onto the tiptoes and then come round again. Breathing through. And then back up onto tiptoes. Okay, now I'm going to take that right knee all the way through to the right hand. Hold here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come back, downward dog. 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Bring that left knee up to the left hand and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Back to downward dog. 3 breaths. Well done. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, walk the hands up to the feet now. Okay, so you hopefully will have nice straight arms, legs now. Take my necklace off. Okay, now I want you to grab the toes and I want you to just again look up with a straight back here. Straighten the arms, straighten the legs, engage the kneecaps, engage the core. Bhujangasasana. Breathe. And then on the next exhale, again, just bring yourself down, grab the elbows and just hang here. And just feel how that feels in the back of your legs. You should be trying to straighten up if you can. Okay, on the next inhale, just roll yourself up and just watch that blood rush to the head. Roll the shoulders. There might be some tension here. So just roll them back and forth a few times. And then we'll get into our dancing warrior sequence. Okay, just wanted to bring some energy into the upper body there, because warriors, you know, are often got a lot to do with the legs. Okay, right, so we're going to start with our warrior sequence. So let's come into our warrior one. Remember, we're going to go through the 5 and then we'll do the final one with the hands underneath the legs, okay? So, warrior one, pelvis is facing forward. On the inhale, nice and deep. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, Urdhva variation. Inhale back to warrior 2. Exhale here. Warrior 1. Warrior 2. Reverse. Exhale. Warrior 2. Exhale here. And again. And back to warrior 2, exhale here. And inhale. Exhale. Back to warrior 2 and exhale here. Last time this side. And then bring that left hand behind, grab the right hand, come down nice and deep towards the floor. 10 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So the hands round to the front of the foot, come round back into a nice plank position, hold steady for 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Come all the way down to the floor and just come up into a nice cobra, and let's just hold for 10 breaths. Seven, 8, 9, and 10. Slowly come back onto the knees and just come back gently into child's pose for 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, coming back again, we're going to come back into downward dog. Okay, I'm going to have 5 breaths here. 3, 4, and 5. Now, we're going to bring, if you had the right foot bent before, bring the right foot in, so we bring the left foot up, so we're ready to do our warrior sequence the other side. I'm just going to manoeuvre around so I don't put my back to you, but it should be the opposite leg for the warriors we did the last time. Okay, so we're going to come into our 5 warriors. So let's come into warrior 1 on the inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale back to warrior 2. Exhale here. Remember, your pelvis should be facing this way with warrior 2 and round to the bent leg of warrior 1. Okay, looking at that left middle finger. Back to warrior 2. Exhale here. And again. Okay, what are we on? Are we on 4 or 5? I think we're on 4. Okay. And the other thing is if you're quite, you know, we're starting to get quite au fait with all of this and the sequences, you can always put me on very low volume so that you don't actually hear me, okay? But you know what you're doing and you can follow then your own process of thinking. Back to warrior 2, bring the right hand behind. So on a practice like this, when you kind of begin to know what you're doing, and you want to really sort of go into a moving meditation yourself, you can always switch the volume down, switch me off, so to speak, and just go with the flow and go with just the visual of me doing what I'm doing. 5, 6, 7, and then it makes it truly your practice, really. 9 and 10. Swivel the hands round, back into plank, 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Coming all the way down to the floor. Into cobra, 10 breaths. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Well done. Okay, come back into a child's pose for 3 deep breaths. 2, and 3. Okay, coming back up again, we're going to come into hero pose before we go into our separate positions. Okay, so if you can come into hero pose, that's great. Otherwise, just on kneeling position, or you can always put a block underneath your bottom or a couple of books just to elevate yourself a little bit if it's too deep here. I just like to stretch out the knees and the hips and the ankles and things when we're doing strong warrior positions. Just allows for a deep opening in the joints, just to release the toxins, which if the warriors will help to get out of the system. So nice and deep, just nice deep breaths, holding steady. Okay, another 3 breaths. 3, 4, and 5. Well done. Okay, coming forward slowly, remember. Just bring your legs round, especially after you've done that for any length of time, and just allow yourself to relax. Take a deep breath in, come forward, and that will just allow the legs to relax a little bit, and the knees. And then we'll get into our holding off our warrior positions. Okay, sorry, coming back up. Alright, we're just going to come straight in to warrior 1. Right leg, okay. Now I'm going to try and hold this for maybe 1 to 2 minutes or somewhere in between. I'm going to kind of roughly guess it with my breath. So hips round, nice deep lunge here, and bring the arms up. Okay, I'm going to hold and breathe. Steady through the core, release the shoulders, but engage the arms, looking up towards the thumbs if you can. Remember, if you've had enough, slowly come out and have a rest, or you can have a rest for a few breaths and then go back into position. It's up to you. Go to the edge of your comfort zone and maybe just a little bit beyond. But you know, if you're struggling, don't struggle through a yoga practice. Just take it easy. Yoga is about pushing the boundaries to a certain extent. But you should honour your body as well as the temple of the soul that it is. And so if your body is needing a little bit of extra practice to get to you to that point to hold the posture for this length of time or longer, you should honour that too. So Warrior One is an excellent posture for getting toxins deep out of your spine. So, you know, great if you've got aches and pains in your back. Okay, now I would normally hold this for a bit longer. It would be great to have some feedback as well. People who are doing this can hold this for an awful lot longer than this. Give me feedback so I know how advanced you're all becoming. And I can keep it for longer. 3, 4, and 5. Slowly bring the hands down. Release. Straight leg. Swivel the feet round. Other side. Okay? Now remember, if you're holding this posture for longer, for say, like the yogis will hold this for a good 3 to 5 minutes, maybe longer. So if you're holding postures for more than 3 minutes, don't just go straight into another posture or swivel around the other side. You should give yourself a minute's rest in a neutral position and then go into the other one. Okay? We didn't hold that for 3 minutes, of course, so we can go pretty much straight into this one. But again, you do you. Even if you have to pause me to allow yourself to recover, that's fine too. Steady. Just a few more breaths. Okay, here we go. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well done. Straighten that front leg. Relax. Should really start to feel some heat. Okay, and relax. Just bring the feet together and a little shake out. Okay. Alright, okay, now we're going to go into Warrior Two. Okay, so again, it's quite strong on the legs. So just take it easy. And again, just decide if you want to hold it for a certain length of time. So remember Warrior Two, the hips are coming forward, he's facing this way. Okay? You're really going to feel this on your arms, holding this length of time as well. So engage the arms, looking out that right middle finger. Hold steady. And just try and make yourself as two-dimensional as you can in the body. Breathing through. Strong in the core, strong in the legs, strong in the arms. Shoulders down. Lifting the chest. Okay, we're going to hold now for another 10 breaths, okay? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Relax. You'll be feeling it in your arms, something chronic. We'll just have a little rest before we do the other side. Nothing quite like Hatha yoga. It really is the best. Original and the best, no question. Okay, other side, alright? So, again into position. This time left foot we're looking at to make sure that you've got your nice leg length between both feet. Sink down, shoulders down, arms engaged, legs engaged, core engaged. Take your gaze at that left middle finger. Okay, 10 breaths from here. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Well done. Arms down. You can really feel it in those arms. Okay, relax. Just take that right foot up and have a little swivel around. Okay, just want to get your feet hip width apart. We're just going to do a little swivel around with our hips. Okay, just to loosen off, because quite often when you're holding a position for quite a long time, you can get a bit rigid and stuck. So I'm going to swivel around again. And just even out and rock out any stiffness there. Okay, excellent. Alright, so this time I want to do more of a humble warrior rather than Parsvakonasana or reverse. Okay, so again, go as deep as you like with this one. This time, so we're bringing our hips forward here, hands behind the back, we're going to clasp them behind ourselves, okay? Come forward into that warrior one position, but this time We take our body down towards the floor and we're lifting our arms up and over. So again, watch your hips. Don't kick your hips out to the right here. Keep them nice and square, facing that front bent foot, okay? Breathe through, keep it nice and steady through the feet and the core. You can use that right thigh and knee to balance your right shoulder on, or if you want a bit of a deeper stretch, you can come a little bit further down towards the floor. Okay, see how you feel. You might need to use that shoulder onto the right thigh as a form of stability, but just be careful when you bring your body down. If you're not using that right shoulder on the right knee, sometimes you can be a little bit too easy to kick over to the right of the hips. So just take it easy. Okay, so we're holding this. We're going to have another 10 breaths from here, okay? 1, 5, 10. Release the hands, bring them down to the front foot. Take that right foot back into a plank. Now it might be a little bit stiff, so just keep it steady in plank. 3 breaths. 1, and 2, and 3. Knees to the floor. Bring yourself down. Relax. Elbows to the floor. Okay, and on the next inhale, you're going to come back onto the knees again. Okay, just come back onto the balls of the feet here. Just relax for a minute. Here, a few breaths, and then we're going to go on to Humble Warrior, the other side. 2, and 3. Okay, so you can just step straight into this. Okay, I'm going to come around this side again, so I'm not really with my back to you. Alright, so come into Humble Warrior this way. Hands down behind again, rolling the shoulders down. Coming down and exhale down towards that thigh or beyond. Arms up. Hold steady. Okay, now we can try and do another 10 breaths from here. 1, 5, 9, and 10. Release the hands, bring that left foot back into plank. 3 deep breaths here. 1, 2, and 3. Knees to the floor, bring your body down and rest, elbows to the floor. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, we're going to come back into our hero's pose once more. Okay, just to rock out the knees. You'll find it's probably a lot easier now than it was the first time to do. But again, take it easy because it's quite a strong posture if you're not used to it. Let's just take 5 deep breaths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well done. Alright, slowly bring yourself out of that position. Okay, and again I want you just to bring your legs out in front and just relax them. We'll do a wee forward fold while we're at it. And then we're going to just do a nice wide angle forward fold just to have a nice stretch of the inside of our legs. So you often find that when you do Hatha yoga and holding the postures, you really begin to start to still the mind and come back to centre. It allows you that time because there's so much going on in each posture, and you've got a battle of the ego, battle of the wills to try and keep yourself going a little bit longer, but your body's maybe saying no and your mind's going, I don't want to do this anymore, but I really feel good. There's this battle that goes on constantly. Eventually you'll get to that point where your body is so free and fluid that each of these postures just feel wonderful and the battle becomes less and less. But it's always a journey with yoga. And some days you can feel great, and some days you can just feel like a real tough bag of spanners, And that's just a part and parcel of it. So on days when you just feel a little bit like you need a rest, it's always good to honour that. And days you've got that little bit more energy, you can do the more stronger classes. Okay, legs out nice and wide. And again, nothing too forced here, we'll just bring our hands out in front and we're going to come just down into a sphinx position with the legs wide. We're not going to be going too deep in down to Upavisha Konasana. We're not going to be doing too deep, we're just going to be allowing the insides of our legs to slowly elongate because they've been working quite hard in those postures, so it's just a gentle stretch through, holding steady. And again, just relax, keep the toes pointing towards the ceiling if you can. If you feel you want to go a little bit deeper, that's okay, go for it. But there's no need to be, at this stage, whereas we're kind of warming down our muscles, you don't need to be too strong. Slowly come back up. And we'll just do a nice side stretch. Take a nice deep breath in. We'll exhale, come down to the right and bring the arm over. Relax. Coming back up again, we'll just come on the other side. And then coming back up to centre, we'll just finish with a little bit of a nice hip, bring the feet together. Take the left leg and just take it all the way over. Okay, so it's in this position here. Take a deep breath in, and this might be as far as you want to go, but if you come down slowly towards that extended leg, you'll feel that nice glute stretch that comes in here, which you do need to do after you've held strong Hatha postures. Well, any posture really, but you'll feel the need. And I like this as a nice gentle glute stretch. Okay, slowly come back up. Leg over, other side. Again, just as far as you're able to bring it over. Deep breath in, exhale down. Taking a few more deep breaths. And 4. And 5. Slowly come back up. Well done. Well done, everybody. Give you a wee break there. Won't make it too long a class because I know that was probably quite tough. Just holding those postures. So just bring yourself back into a nice comfortable Sukhasana position. We'll just take our fingers into Chin Mudra and we'll just lay them on our knees and we'll just take a few deep breaths in quiet sort of contemplation, meditation. Just allowing our breath to regulate once more, to come back again inside ourselves. And just notice how the body feels. You probably find that your legs feel quite like they've had a good workout. So just relax them in this position if you're able to. Well done. Okay, excellent. Now give yourself a Shavasana, remember. It's very important that you do that. But for now we'll just close the class with the hands in the heart chakra again. Make the sign of the universe, take a deep breath in. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Thank you. Well done, everybody. Shavasana now. Have a good time. Till next time.